Welcome to Huddle Adventures. I'm Eddie. Laura's in here right now. Laura's in here right now because this is Eddie's Cruise News. Today is Wednesday, September 14th, 2022, and we have a ton of cruise news for you today. We have two major cruise lines that are refusing to stop in Bermuda now due to COVID-19 protocols. We have some cruise news out of the Cayman Islands. We have Carnival making multiple cruise news stories, and Virgin Voyages making cruise news. We're going to get into all that after this. All right, we're going to kick this news segment off with Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages to offer 4 one-way sailings across the world in 2023-2024. Sailing in Asia, Australia, and the Caribbean, the repositioning voyages will be offered by the Resilient Lady and the new Brilliant Lady. Departing from Miami on December 24, 2023, the Brilliant Lady will offer a 5-night itinerary that ends in Puerto Rico. In addition to 2 full days at sea, the holiday sailing features visits to Puerto Plata and St. Croix before ending in San Juan. After completing its inaugural season in Australia, the Resilient Lady is set to offer what Virgin calls epic repositioning voyages to Europe. Sailing in March and April of 2024, the 3 2-week sailings can be combined into a single 6-week trip that links Australia to Greece. The first one-way segment departs from Sydney on March 27, 2024. Before reaching its final destination, Singapore, the 15-night voyage sails to Arley Beach, Cairns, Darwin, and Benoa. Continuing its way to Europe, the Resilient Lady embarks on the second segment of the repositioning sailing on April 11, 2024. Sailing from Singapore to Dubai, the 14-night itinerary features calls to Port Klang, Phuket, Colombo, Goa, and Mumbai. The next segment starts on April 25, 2024, and sails from Dubai to Piraeus. In addition to the transit of the Suez Canal, the voyage includes visits to ports in the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Third and fourth in a series of 4 cruise ships, known as Virgin's ladyships, the Resilient Lady and the Brilliant Lady are set to debut in 2023. While the first will enter service in time for a summer program in the Mediterranean, the second is set to launch service in Q4. With the addition of early 2024 voyages, Virgin's 4-ship deployment now includes itineraries to more than 100 destinations across 4 different continents. According to the company, the 3 to 15-night voyages were designed to offer something for everyone. Next up is Carnival. The Carnival Conquest arrived in Europe today. It is going to be dry docked. The vessel will now undergo scheduled maintenance and class work at the shipyard. Before resuming service next month, the 2002 built cruise ship is also set to receive Carnival's new livery. That's the blue and red on the bottom of the ships. It's created to celebrate the company's 50th anniversary. The hull design is highlighted by a navy blue hull inspired by officers' uniforms, along with red and white accents running the entire length of the ship. After returning to North America, the Carnival Conquest is set to resume its regular schedule of short cruises to the Bahamas and the Caribbean on October 10th. We have more Carnival news. Carnival Celebration successfully completed its sea trials ahead of debut in Port Miami. The Carnival Cruise Line's newest ship, Carnival Celebration, is closer to debut in her home port of Port Miami after successfully completing sea trials in the Baltic Sea, according to a press release. The Carnival Celebration set sail on her first round of sea trials Monday, September 5th. During the sea trials, Carnival Celebration underwent several tests, which are meant to determine the ship's capability and her performance. We've done many maneuvering tests, such as endurance tests, steering tests, speed tests, and thruster tests. The ship performed wonderfully, and shortly we will get her out and start cruising. Following an inaugural 6-day voyage to the Eastern Caribbean, the Carnival Celebration will launch year-round 7-day cruises to the Eastern and Western Caribbean from Port Miami beginning November 21st. The week-long voyages will visit destinations like San Juan, Puerto Rico, Cozumel, Mexico, and Grand Turk, and we will be on that November 21st sailing. If you're going to be on that sailing, let us know in the comments below. We're all excited about it. Cruise news from the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands government has commissioned a cruise tourism strategy study to determine how the destination's cruise traffic will develop after 2 years of pandemic-imposed inactivity and the scuttling of a multi-million-dollar cruise port project. They had a big cruise port project scheduled and they decided to cancel it. Speaking Tuesday at a Caribbean Tourism Organization conference in Grand Cayman, Kenneth Bryan, the Cayman Islands Minister of Tourism, said the study can be best described as a roadmap for redesigning our core approach following the resumption this year of cruise ship calls at the destination. Bryan said the Cayman Islands hosted 77 cruise ship calls carrying 213,000 passengers through March of this year. Cruise visitors represent the majority of the country's leisure visitors, he said. For cruise lines, the Cayman Islands are a geographically crucial stop on the Western Caribbean itineraries. In a typical year, cruise passengers will make up 75% of our arrivals, Bryan said. So, of course, it's important this sector develops in a manner that is cohesive and sustainable well into the future. The Cayman's cruise study will focus more intently on quality facilities management while protecting the country's natural assets. The Cayman Island has long been among the most visited Caribbean cruise ports. In 2019, the country hosted 1.83 million cruise ship guests, third most among regional ports, according to the CTO data. Nevertheless, the Cayman government voided a long-running proposal for a new cruise pier and passenger terminal in St. George's Harbor following protests from local citizens concerned the project would harm the harbor's natural underwater environment. Cruise lines had backed the proposal, asserting that a land-based pier would support their plans to introduce ever larger vessels in the Caribbean ports. Cruise ships calling at St. George's continue to anchor offshore and transfer passengers to land via tender vessels. We have a wonderful relationship with our cruise sector partners, but everything is about relationships and respecting each other. Bryan said, we recognize cruise lines are trying to make more money with larger ships, but we also want things to proceed in a particular way. He added, I'm a representative of my people, and my people have said that the environment is more important to our country from a sustainable perspective than cruise itself. But that doesn't mean that we cannot do more things. The Cayman government is working with cruise lines representatives to discuss alternatives to land-based ports. I'm having conversations with the cruise lines, and even if we have tendering, we can discuss making the process more comfortable by utilizing better tenders, making them luxurious, and making them better able to dock at these ships. Those things can be investigated because we know cruise lines are important to them and they are important to us. Nevertheless, he does not expect the government to greenlight further cruise passenger growth. Moving forward, our goal is to grow much more beyond 75% because we recognize our government can only handle so much. My team and I are working hard to ensure our tourism product contributes to our economy and preserves our precious natural and cultural heritage, but most importantly, creates an opportunity to display the beauty and friendliness of our people. So, the cruise lines are trying to get away from doing tenders. It's much easier if they can obviously pull in to a port and dock and let the people on and off the ship. You can get everybody off and on the ship much quicker. And also, the weather is less critical to this operation than using a tender, because if you have heavy winds and you have big waves, it's hard to use tenders. It's very dangerous getting people from a ship onto a tender and from a tender back onto a ship. So, and they also, as they said in the article, they would love to bring those mega-sized ships into all these Caribbean ports because that would be great for them. Now, the Cayman Islands spoke and the people said they don't want to do that. So we're going to see tendering continuing, and hopefully they improve the process as they promise here. Before we continue, we need you to take a moment, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell on, and give us a like, guys. Those things help our channel grow. We are here for you. We're All Things Cruising. Let's go. 2 major cruise lines have canceled port stops in Bermuda, citing the ongoing COVID-19 testing requirements by the Bermuda government. Celebrity Cruises has canceled visits to Bermuda in October and November, scheduled for 4 ships: Celebrity Beyond, Celebrity Silhouette, Celebrity Edge, and Celebrity Reflection. The vessels had been set to visit the islands on October 22nd, October 30th through 31st, November 4th, and November 10th. Norwegian Cruise Line has canceled a Bermuda call scheduled for November 5th by Norwegian Sun. All 5 of the visits were scheduled to take place during long transatlantic voyages that began in Europe and end in North America. Around the world, Bermuda continues to require passengers on such long voyages to submit supervised onboard COVID-19 testing as their vessels approach the island. Bermuda requires onboard COVID-19 testing for all passengers on any ship that takes longer than 4 days to arrive at the island from its origination port. The test must take place within 2 days of the ship's arrival in Bermuda. Passengers on such ships also must fill out an online form and pay a $40 per person fee to Bermuda. Many cruise destinations around the world have dropped such requirements in recent months as the severity of COVID-19 pandemic has waned. Bermuda's continuation of such requirements has led to complaints from cruisers scheduled to be on longer voyages that include a stop at the island this fall, cruise lines say. Our transatlantic sailing guests indicated a strong preference for avoiding mid-cruise testing and related expenses, Celebrity said. We will continue to visit Bermuda with our other itineraries where the island is the first port of call and doesn't trigger the additional testing requirement. Bermuda does not require most passengers to undergo a mid-cruise COVID-19 test when visiting the island on ships that arrive within 4 days of leaving the origination port. Most round-trip cruises to Bermuda are from New York and other East Coast ports, and they fall into that category. So, as you know, if you follow our channel, we were just in Bermuda a little over 2 weeks ago. We went there, 3 weeks ago. We went there on the Carnival Magic, and we can tell you it was a little complicated. You know, we had to do the travel authorization form, which I mentioned, the $40 per person fee. You basically send them your vaccination records and all that electronically, and we had to follow up with a phone call to get ours completed, and we waited until about 5 days before the cruise and hadn't heard anything. So we reached out to them and called them. So they take it very, very seriously, and hopefully they relent a little on this because, you know, no one else is doing it. So, you know, that's where we're at. So with that, I want to thank you for watching our cruise news. We appreciate you being here, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.